Now, children, if while solving the determiners pages, the 3 pages which I have assigned as homework, if you come across any doubt, as I said in my earlier video also, you may upload your doubts and send in any form the way you are convenient with the doubts in the form of a PDF, or simply type and send it as a in the comment box in the Google Classroom itself, and I'll try to resolve your doubt then and there itself. So moving on with a new on towards a new topic, that is subject verb agreement. I hope you are clear with the word subject in language. Subject is something we are talking about, and verb is the action word. Verb is also a helping verb, such as the words is, am, are. So here the topic goes on with the use of verb according to your subject. In general sense, if I recall your previous classes language work you have done in English, when I say I use the word I know I have to use am with it. If I use the word we, I know I have to use are or have, or you can say in present tenses are, have, past tense were. These are the verbs which I have to use. So basically this topic is about using the verb in accordance to your subject. So you need to have the knowledge of what is a subject in a sentence to make the correct verb, use the correct verb there, and that is what we will be doing here. Again, I would like to say many of these rules you have already been through in your previous classes. The only thing is that sometimes because of you can say carelessness, we miss the right verb. So learning this topic now, again there would be some points which you will feel that it's a revision of what you have done, but don't ignore it taking up that this we have done already. There's no need to focus on this. Actually, there are some particular things which you were not told because you were in junior classes. So here when we take up the session on this topic, some minuteness of the topic or the minute points of the topic will come across, and I'll make you underline. And this topic I'll taking in parts because it's a lengthy one and it requires to understand each and every point. So let's begin. The use of verb in a sentence is determined by the number means singular or plural, and person of the subject. When I say person again means whether the person is a boy or a girl, or they are plural there, or they are you can say singular subject there. Person, see here you can see person singular, person plural. This is the meaning of person of the subject. This is known as subject verb agreement. The topic itself makes it clear what we are going to study. Subject verb agreement means your subject and verb must agree with each other in a sentence, and that is how you learn the correct language. Grammatically you learn the correct sentences or the correct language. Now taking up this part, here are some subjects mentioned there, and the verbs on this side which match with these subjects. As I said, you know that with I you have to use am, was, have, do, or the first form of the verb without an S. For example, I go, I write. There is no use of S if your subject is I here, and the other verbs I hope it is very much clear to do. I do, I was, I have, I am, all these are mentioned here. He, she, it, that is the third person singular. They all make use of the words, the verbs rather, is, was, has, does, the first form of the principal verb, the main verb you can say, or the action verb with S form. For example, with S form means a verb V1 with an S or ES. Sometimes it's an S, for example in writes, and sometimes it is ES, for example in goes. So he goes, she writes, it goes like this. So all these are very much you can say clear if you read, go through it, and you have been using it for times since you started reading or studying or speaking English. So go through this. Next comes a note here, the model canon. These models are also kind of verbs only, children. We have not taken up the entire topic as such. Actually, only the important part have been, I won't say that the rest of the things are not important, but for your level of class, what you need to learn is this. And basically you get the functional grammar topics more, such as error correction, omissions and all, so that you need to master. And moreover, this topic will help you to do your active passive as well. So the models can, could, or you, if you don't want to go into this what is models, you can just take the verbs like can, could, shall. All these do not change with the change in the number and person of the subject. It means that whether your subject is I, he, she, it, a plural word, you in singular or you as a plural, there will be no change in these model verbs. They will remain the same. That means they have no other form, provided past tense and present tense matters for these, but there is no change, no addition of s or es with these words. Then the verb in the past form, past participle form and infinitive form. Infinitive is 2 plus V1 also do not change with the change in the number and person of the subject. Past form, I would like to point out here that past form means suppose I have to use went. Okay, went is a V2 form, second form of the verb. It is always I went, he went, she went, they went. That does not change its form. Same way 2 plus V1 means if I have to use to go, it will be I have to go, he has to go, we have to go, you have to go. To go will remain the same. So this is the meaning of these notes. Moving further with the topic, when you will take up this session for the second time or for revising what you have done, or just for you can say checking that whether you have understood or not, then only you will open the book, and that time you are going to number these rules as I have done and mark the important points, whichever you feel is relevant to remember or to be read again and again, that part you may underline. Now, two or more singular subjects joined by and take a plural verb. Now, this rule you have been doing since class 1, that if there are two subjects, two things, apple and mango are my I have two subjects, apple and mango, and this will take a plural verb, that is are, were, depending upon the tense is a different issue, that you are talking about present tense or past tense, but the verb that is to be used is plural. For example, Julia, Anna and Rachna are best friends. These are my subjects and they have been joined using and, so my verb will be plural, that is are. But two singular nouns referring to the same person or thing takes a singular verb. Now here you have to put star. This you have to remember. Supposingly I am using the same word for a common person, for the same subject, you can say, then my verb will be singular. By taking the example, you will understand it better. Supposing like I say the honest and dedicated Gandhiji, I may use this sentence as the honest Gandhiji, or I may use it the dedicated Gandhiji. You may be wondering why the is used. The is always used when you have an adjective here, and here Gandhiji will take both these words have been used for Gandhiji, dedicated and honest. So that is how I am talking about the same person. You do not take it that because it is joined by and, so my verb will be are, a plural verb. Actually, the thing is that I am talking about the same person, that is Gandhiji, but I have given him two different adjectives. So that in that case, the verb will be singular, is. So you need to focus as the topic goes, subject verb agreement. Time and again you have to refer to your subject. What is your subject? If I read the sentence like that and I don't go with this and rule, I can make out that I am talking about a subject. My subject in the sentence is Gandhiji, not honest, not dedicated. Actually, these are the two words that have been added to his name, but my subject is only one person, singular person, that is Gandhiji. And how will you be able to make it out? Actually, the identification is this you might have done while doing articles, that if you are using a common article for a particular person, the is common for honest also and dedicated also. But here in this sentence, the honest and the dedicated, this the shows that you are talking about two different subjects, and that is how the verb is are here. This use of the shows that you are talking about two different people, the honest people, the dedicated people, and that is how the verb that has been used is are. Had it been the honest and dedicated, no the here, that means you are talking about same person. I hope it is clear. More than one singular subject joined by or, nor, either or neither, either or neither or, take a singular subject. In case your subject is more than one singular subject, means subject is singular. For example, Rohan and Varun, they are singular in their you can say number. It is not boys and girls, it is singular. Varun and Rohan, passenger and baggage. There is no s with these words, hopefully. Practically the proper noun never takes an s there, and passenger may take, baggage may take, but they are used as singular words. So in these cases the verb will also be singular, it will never be plural. Don't take it like that you are talking about Varun and Rohan. Actually you are talking about Varun and Rohan individually. That is how the verb is singular. Was is a singular verb. But now I have numbered these points 2a and 2b. That is how there is a change here. If the number of the subjects is different, means one is singular, the other is plural, or either of the two, first or second, that could be anything. Passengers here, baggage here, passengers here with an s. So what will be the use? The plural verb should be used. With an example, it will be clear to you. If the number of the subject is different, number means singular and plural. See, these basic words you have to keep in mind. Number, when I say, it means singular and plural, and when I say person, it refers to pronouns there. For example, so what was the rule? That if the number of this subject is different means either of them is plural, then what to do? The verb, what is the rule? The plural verb should be used with the plural subject. The plural verb should be used. Actually, I missed it here. I'll just lift the, okay, and I'll do something. I missed half of the rule here. The plural verb should be used with the plural subject. Now let's see the example, and that will make it more clear. You or the students. Now here my subject, here are two subjects are there, you and students is plural. So my verb will match with this. Students will take have. Next, either you or the students. Again here students is plural, so my verb should go on or agree with this subject, with the plural subject. Mind it, it was the verb will agree with the plural subject. If your words are two subjects are joined and one is singular, the other is plural, then the verb has to agree or go on or be in accordance with the plural subject, and that you have to see where it is, whether first place or the second place. Now this rule again has one more specification. C part. If the person of the subjects is different. Now the person of the subjects is different. Earlier we were talking about the number of the subject. Now we are talking about the person of the subjects is different, and they are joined by these same words, or, nor, either or, neither nor. The verb should agree with the subject next to it. So in case your subjects are different persons means if the person of the subject is different, that is this side, see, first person singular, second person, third person, means One is first person, the other one is second person or third person, or any plural or singular. Then what it will be? It has to agree with the subject next to it. Next to it means before the blank, you can say, before the blank, either he or I. Now my subjects in person are he and I. So my verb should agree with, you will naturally get a blank here after the second subject. So you have to see that the verb should agree with this second subject. Next to it means first one is here and the second one is here. So next one, the verb should go or match with this subject. So I will take am. Again I will say this can be was also. Here actually we are not doing present tense and past tenses, we are talking about the correct verb. So accordingly I am not giving any specification for was or has or have, but you have to keep in mind here we are learning the correct verb to be used with a particular subject. Either you or he. Now I have to use a verb here, and as these are two different person, this one is a second person pronoun and he is a third person pronoun. So what I have to do, my verb should match with the subject which is very near to the blank, or where I have to use the verb. So he will take is, or if you just hide this part and you read you is, that is a wrong verb. So that is actually what the rule is. The verb will agree with the second subject, or with the subject which is very near to the blank here. Next, and here is another way of writing such sentences. This you can just read. Again, the rule is that the verb will be in accordance with the second subject. If two subjects are there and they are different in their terms of persons, first person, second person, or third person, that in that case the verb should agree with the second person here, second subject, not person, second subject here. Next, number 4. If the sentence has more than one subject joined by and, means if in case there are more than one subject and the joining word which is used is and, the verb used is plural. Now see how it goes. He and I. Now two subjects are there, he and I. Okay, and the joining word is and. Joining word is and. So the verb which is to be used is plural, because there are two subjects which are going together. They are a unit, they are a group, you can say, and that is how my verb will be plural. He and they. We never use with the he are. If we hide this, we never use he are. He are is wrong, it is always is. So the rule is that if your sentence has more than one subject and is joined by using and, mind it, and is the joining conjunction between those two subjects, then your verb should be plural. A sub part of this rule is, or a sub rule for this is, two subjects expressing a singular idea take a singular verb. Two subjects expressing a singular idea. For example, the words bread and butter. 2 and 2 makes 4. Now these you may think that bread is different thing, butter is different thing, but we always have them in a combination. So that is how these are two subjects but they express a singular idea. Such cases take a singular verb. For example, bread and butter dash his staple diet is. Don't use are here, considering that we have two subjects joined by using and. Actually, this bread and butter, bread and jam, rice and curry all go together as a unit. They are singular in the idea. Never we have separate bowl of rice to eat and then we have the separate bowl of dal and we eat like that. We always mix them together, and that is how they express a singular idea. Next, the use of each, every before the subject takes a singular verb. If you remember, this thing we have done in the topic determiners also. but that time I didn't focus on the verbs. So the rule is that if you have each and every before the subject of the sentence, then the verb that has to be used in is singular. The reason is that though I'm talking about everyone or each of person or thing in that group, but the main idea is, or the my focus is on individual person or thing in that group, and that is how my focus is singular subject though I'm talking about a group. So that is how the verb that will be used is singular. If you get confused with the words written here, just focus that if you have each and every before the subject of the sentence, then your verb should be singular. This is the simplest way of remembering the rule. Each and every refers to one and my verb should be singular. That's it. Next, if the subject is one of plus a plural noun, means if in your structure, if in your sentence you have one of plus a plural noun, one of the men, one of the balloons, one of my friends, then the verb should be singular. Though it sounds that you're talking about a plural subject because you have a plural word here, cousins, before the blank, but actually you're not talking about cousins, you're talking about one of many cousins you have. Okay, so one of plus a plural noun, this is one of, this is plural noun means cousins here. So one of my cousins plays chess very well. Why the verb is with s here? Because when you are talking about a singular subject, we have done here singular subject, take it this one only, I is first person singular. Any subject which is singular will take a verb with here it's here will take a verb with s or es. For example, he goes, she goes, it writes well, this pen writes well. So in that case my subject is only one. The rule is that if you have one of in the sentence, don't go for this word cousins here and write here play or any other plural verb. It is a plural verb, and plural verb means a verb with an sorry, it is a singular verb, and singular verb means a verb with an s added to it, or in simple words it is v1 with s or es depending upon the spelling here. So I hope children it's more than enough for today. Take up the session again, just revise these rules before we take up the second session on this topic, and you will solve the classroom assignment that is 52. Don't take up the entire assignment together because we have not done all the rules here. So this is assignment, whatever you feel the rule covers your rules which we have done, you may do it. And there is another way of learning grammar. Supposing you feel that you are comfortable doing solving all the exercise in one go, you may solve it. And sometimes an indirect way of learning the rules is better, that is solving the exercise first and then reading the rule why it is so. That fixes the rule better in your minds. Thank you children. In case of doubt, you may upload your query or the doubt there in the Google Classroom itself. Please revise the topic before you take up the exercise. Don't straight away after the session begin with the exercise. I hope it will be easy way for you to remember these rules if you take up the topic and the session at least twice. Thank you. Have a nice day.